EA Sports. It's in the game.
Coach, thanks. We are about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and our home team. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This fielded at the 2. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And this time, Rosen will throw. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And he hits Drake. It'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done because in worst-case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
79. Check safety.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Space to maneuver at the 40. A big play there by Gordon. 43 yards. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. This is Gordon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped.
Well, no Texas start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Got an open man, it's Pringle. Touchdown, LA! Byron Pringle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. And if you blinked, you probably missed that touchdown drive. It happened in a hurry.
I was just putting mustard on my hot dog, and all of a sudden he's in the end zone. I've got to do a better job of paying attention with this quick strike offense.
I thought you weren't going to tell your wife about the hot dogs in the booth thing.
I just didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rosen looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
390. Man, that's trash. That's trash. Bang, 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 bang. White. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Room. Let's go, defense.
Following the interception here, Rivers. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Here we go.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Watch the out. Watch the out. 80. Hey, Duke, guys.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Fighting through pressure. Runs through the contact. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rosen. Funchess has it complete. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 31-yard line.
Gain of 21 yards. 1st down, Dolphins.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I don't even know why this team's
And now it's Rosen looking for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Devin Funchess, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Rivers now after the fumble recovery. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. Here's Rivers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
First down, Miami.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. Now he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's at the 30, 20, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Rivers. And oh, what a catch there by Allen. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Watch the stick.
Now Rivers completes it to Benjamin. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Rivers throw into the hands of Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Phillip Rivers with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
Check 31, check 31. Alert, alert, alert. Bravo.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. It's caught by Funchess. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. And they give this time to the tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On 2nd and 11 now, Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's caught by Parker. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 38-yard line. Rosen now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Hey, Delta! 951, 951. I got one.
Rivers now, the throw on first down. He's got it to Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now Gordon on first down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Just like that. Just like that.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. First down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter three? The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
White! 5. White, 85!
Rivers on first down. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Left! Mike 51! Hey, I want to go load it! Behind!
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line.
Come.
Here's Gordon. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Kill. 0. Kill. Turn up. Check. Wait.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
51 to Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. Allen, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 76 yards.
First down, Dolphins.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now it's Rosen. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys on.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Devin Funches with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins are once again going to retake the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Rivers, complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a 1st down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. From the gun, Rivers able to get this to Gordon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
Chargers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Rivers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
He's checking crap. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Room.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Pilot, 64, weak. White.
My boy, 51. What we got?
Behind.
To throw, Rivers. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Kill.
They'll run on first down. Gordon. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Watch the screen.
On 2nd and 9, Rivers looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
A 31-yard attempt.
Badgley's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit. Because if you're a starter, on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, Delta.
Now Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Tillery breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you, because it seems to be working pretty well.
And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st, as he can only get this to the 30. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Chargers take over first down at their own 31-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creep.
They go back to Gordon here on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at their 48-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Danny.
Go.
51's the mic, boy. 51.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
12. Hey, Charlie.
Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. I'm coming.
Now Rivers on 4th down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rosen. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A very solid gain of 27.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
A gain of 27 on the play.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. Being chased out left. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown puts them up 7. But now's when the fun begins, partner, because if you go ahead and kick the extra point, it's still a one-possession game. Go for 2, you might put it out of reach.
Yeah, a little decision to be made. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Load it. Load it.
He's back to throw. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Rivers. Now he's forced out left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Say 180. 180.
Here's Rivers. Allen's got it complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get on the
0.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. One last shot now for Rivers. And he's going to go down again. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't.